Welcome to episode 4 of Which, where I'll be going over Zeal's Zilent switches. Shout out to Zeal for sending these out to me for this video. Check them out at zealpc.net. Recently I received this switch sample pack and found these switches better than I expected them to be. Zilents, like the rest of the switches Zeal offers on zealpc.net, are manufactured by Gateron. They have their own unique housings, and the stems share a mold of their own by Zeal. These Zilents take the same form as new Round 8 and Beyond Zelios, with the weights as 62 grams, 65 grams, 67 grams, and 78 grams. The 67 and 78 gram versions received a major overhaul in Round 8 with their new springs, which changed the tactility a considerable bit. All of these Zilents share the same stem with the Zelios that have been wildly popular with the community. The tactility is decent, but the shining achievement of these tactile switches is how smooth they are right out of the box. The smoothness really helps to point out the tactile bump. Despite the fact it's not the largest or sharpest tactile bump, the smoothness helps to contribute to its improved feel over many tactile switches from other manufacturers like various brown switches or the popular MX Clear. The 62 and 65 versions are, in my opinion, pretty plain Jane, but a good choice for people seeking a smoother alternative to MX Ergo Clears. The bump isn't the biggest in the world nor the most unique, but the smoothness of the switch and the nice lightness of the springs contributes to a typing experience that would benefit those who are fans of lighter switches. The 67 and 78 Zilents are indeed the bee's knees in tactility, but I have to give my preference to the heavier 78 gram over the 67 gram. Like I mentioned earlier, the new springs were the major overhaul to greatly improve tactility. Even the coils in these springs look a bit different from the 62 and 65 gram variants. The improved tactility of these switches make for a pretty crisp typing experience. For a while I was worried that Zeal switches were getting a bit stale in the community, but these are a step in the right direction. Now, what makes these switches truly different from the other switches in Zeal's line are the silencing pads on the stems of the switches. With the silencing bumper on the top and bottom of each rail, the bottom out and return sounds are more muted. The trade-off is there is less overall travel distance in this switch travel. There's a much different bottom out feel. A major complaint with Cherry and Gateron silent switches is the mushy bottom out feeling, which doesn't feel refined or pleasurable since it comes from the rubber bumpers hitting the bottom. Zeal has decided to use a harder rubber for the bumpers to give it a more satisfying feel, although they still have a little bit of give and a little bit of rubbery feel. In terms of salvaging the feel compared to other silent switches, I'd give these the edge. One thing that'll cut into you like a sharp edge is the price. These switches aren't cheap, especially compared to any stock switches you can get, but they're decent and arguably some of the best silent switches you can get on the market today without any modifications. Once again, special thanks to zealpc.net for these switches. Check them out in the description.